Third Wheel Podcast. Welcome back. I'm Caleb.
I'm Shaps.
We are ready because, okay, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. We're getting this episode out the way so we can go watch Captain America.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be honest with you. It's going to suck. Can you hear me okay? It sounds a little muffled.
I hear you fine.
Okay, cool. All right. And, okay, it won't suck according to reviews. You're going to see the people that are like, I love Sam Wilson.
I mean,
he's black. And I love it.
I haven't read any, but I've seen thumbnails.
Yeah.
But like, I've stayed away from them, and I know how wonderfully terrible it's going to be. So entertaining.
Yeah.
Regardless, I know it's not going to be boring. It can't be.
No,
it's
it can't.
Be,
It just can't.
It'll be dumb.
The Marvels was boring. It's not going to be the Marvels boring. It's going to be its own level of, hey, we thought this was a good idea.
I heard they have like the one part I did see, I didn't read it, but is like the ending specifically apparently like changes things significantly. I don't know what that means.
Unless he hands the shield to Bucky, I don't care.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So, I mean, you don't know what those changes are?
No.
Okay, cool.
Because, that was a spoiler territory.
I keep seeing thumbnails, like obviously, like of the main villain. And we've talked about who it is before because I knew based on headlines and stuff and just behind the scenes.
But you had a prediction, right, of like one of the villains, right, of how like all the advertising is going to be centered around a particular red fella.
Yeah. So all the marketing is showing the Red Hulk versus Captain America, and that they're putting them on all these different platforms. There's like this is the final showdown, and
people are spray painting him on their shields.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like it's gonna be 5 seconds of the whole film, like 5.
Does look because all the shots of him, all the shots they've shown are all in the same set, all the same like outside the White House, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna be what, like you said, like a few minutes. I think maybe 10 minutes max.
Yeah, max. Like it'll be a fight. But it's not the lead. No, at all. Like, and it's misleading.
Yeah.
Because I know who the main villain is through now spoilers, but before it was just behind the scenes, and they leaked the Funko Pop.
Yeah.
And I won't say it because the movie just came out. There's a chance you go see it. But it was like they're hiding the main villain from the marketing.
For sure, we've already said it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I know, but those were, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be nice. Like, I did see some stuff online, nothing crazy spoilers, but confirmations of stuff I already knew. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Yeah.
And then they added Giancarlo Esposito. Like he's part of the
I
reshoots.
literally saw that. Just a little clip of him, like the latest trailer or whatever. I'm like, wait, when was he in this film?
Exactly, because he wasn't supposed to. Like they added people. They cut people out. They cut out all these pink-haired characters. Right, because they're not DEI friendly anymore.
Right.
Disney, they're shifting. So they took out all the purple, pink-haired characters, and then they put in new people. They added action scenes. It's been reshot to heck and
when
back.
was the last big Marvel movie to be reshot? That's depressing.
Like that?
Yeah.
I mean, not a movie, but Daredevil. That's part of the reshuffling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember production issues being this bad. The Marvels, I think, was
maybe
pretty bad.
I mean, I bet you Quantumania had some reshoots, but I don't know. That's crazy.
But not to remove and just insert brand new character. Like this is bad.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited. Like it's not gonna be Madam Web level bad.
There's only one compliment I have, and I actually really like his new suit, like the white suit with the wings. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, probably last 10 minutes, but whatever.
Right. No, I mean he had his suit in Falcon and Winter Soldier. You didn't watch that?
Falcon. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to. Now definitely.
No. Terrorists. Stop calling them terrorists. That's not what they are. They're people. I'm like, we're doing this. This is the route Disney's going. Not anymore.
Hashtag Zemo was right. You see that on the internet?
I wish Thanos just followed through. So I don't know. Yeah, it's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be the worst ever, I'm told, but it's not good, And I don't know, like before the movie came out, they doubled down. Sam Wilson is Captain America, and I was like, all right, they're gonna have to declare it before the movie's even out because they know reviews are gonna be mid or bad, and it's not gonna get money.
Yeah.
Like whenever, it's it's bad when they're doing damage control before the movie's even out. Like same with Kraven the Hunter, the guy was like, it's not that bad. Okay, go watch.
I know what you're thinking.
Trust us, yeah.
I know exactly what you're thinking. How? How do you know what we're thinking?
Yeah, it's like generic dialogue from any opening of a movie where somebody's falling. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Well, let me cut back to the beginning of the film. So yeah, they're doing damage control already, and same thing when the Marvels came out. So Brie Larson was acting weird, and she was like, you know, her first thoughts on, hey, are you coming back for Captain Marvel? Did you see the interview where she's like, I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Okay, so she's been weird about it, like, you know, I don't know if I'm doing it again. Nobody likes me. And then the movie came out, bombed, at damage control. So then she comes out and does a hard, I am committed to this role. I'm going to do whatever Disney tells me to do. And I was like, okay, so that means you're not coming back. They got to act like they're coming from a position of strength, even though they just lost $1 billion. So,
unfortunate.
I don't know.
Man.
This Captain America film is left over from DEI mandates, and here's the direction we're going. And now, I mean, once all this flops, get all these flops out the way, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll fix it. We'll get Captain Hydra. Robert Downey Jr.'s back. If you're gonna spend that kind of money, just bring back all the original actors.
Right.
That's mostly why they got rid of most of them. It wasn't for storytelling purposes, it's because they all
money.
wanted a big paycheck. Yeah. So.
And they're probably charging like double what they were before.
Oh yeah, because Disney is reeking of desperation. Like it is putrid. It's a level orange pollution. You can smell the desperation, and so of course, like Robert Downey Jr. Please come back. I'm begging. Yes, but my prices have gone up because I know you need me. You need a desperate. So I don't know. Like because after this is Avengers. Like there's Fantastic Four, and then next year's Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Who are the Avengers? Like I saw somebody ask that. Who are the Avengers?
They're
now?
falling back in the same trap that the DCU fell in with Justice League. How no one really knew, like they knew the characters, but they didn't know like the actual.
Who's canon? Who's not? Like the Flash rebooted? Not really. If they did Justice League now, like nobody knows who's in it. Like are we using the Batman? Are we using James Gunn's Batman from Brave and the Bold? Superman? We don't know. But then you got like right now, who are the Avengers? Like Captain Marvel flopped, so that they don't want to use her again. Sam Wilson, his movie's not doing good. Ant-Man's movie didn't do good, so like they're reshuffling all this stuff. I was like, who? I think Thor's still Thor, but his movie got bad reviews. But it made money.
I mean, they were probably planning on making Valkyrie the new Thor. Like, they did, right? But I guess I don't know. Maybe they won't touch her again.
Right, exactly. Because not like they're everyone's included plan, DEI plan didn't work, and it lost a lot of money. So it's like, what? And I think Hawkeye's still Hawkeye. I don't know. Like who's? Yeah, we don't know who the Avengers are. So.
It's almost like Endgame was an actual ending for all these characters. So it's very confusing on. Well, if we act like they're still around.
Next year is Avengers Doomsday, and I don't know who's going to be in it. I have no clue. Like, you can't bring Daredevil's not going to come in and fight, Robert Downey Jr.
Do you think end of, maybe that's what it is. Maybe at the end of this Captain America film, there's going to be a mini trailer for Avengers film?
Possibly.
Yeah, because that's what they did, right? The original Captain America, at the very end, they had the trailer for Avengers.
Maybe so. Yeah. Nobody's excited. Yeah. It's like at the end of the Marvels when Beast shows up and he's like, yes, I'm going to go talk to Charles. And then, he's talking to an empty theater. It's like nobody cares.
We don't even know if Sam Wilson's going to be in it.
Right.
I mean, like, I'm sure he will be, but like as Captain America?
Right.
Or
we don't know.
Bucky, I feel like he's tied. Like, for instance, I don't know what he did so wrong to Disney, but like I feel like he's just like he's never going to get an ending for whatever reason.
Yeah, I know. So the Thunderbolts, are they gonna be in it? Or Ironheart? Like we're supposed to get an Ironheart. She was supposed to be Captain America. Is she gonna be? I don't know. Yeah. Black Panther literally died in real life, and so now his sister's the Black Panther. So I don't know what we're doing anymore. Namor. I haven't seen Namor since Black Panther 2, which was 3 or 4 years ago now. So it's like I don't know. Next year Avengers, unless they delay it, maybe.
It's kind of funny how like it's almost reflected in their cinematic universe, the real life problems they've gone through of like trying to find a replacement for Robert Downey as the leader of the Avengers, as the face of this Avengers franchise. Because they tried to do Spider-Man, Sony didn't play ball. They tried to do Black Panther, but the actor unfortunately passed away. So it's like they kind of, and then they were like, okay, well then Ant-Man, and then like that didn't work out. So it's like. And even in like the films, you can see like, oh, who's going to hold the shield? Who's going to wield the shield? And it's like they can never find anyone. It's almost like a weird parallel there. Yeah. And I don't think Sam Wilson's going to stick. I don't think people are going to get behind him like they did. Yeah. So with the original, so it's like Yeah, to pull the full reboot handbrake right now,
Yeah.
it's like it's got to be their only option, right?
Yeah, I mean they have to. So what? So okay, actually though, we can't talk about the movie because one, we haven't seen it. Two, spoilers. But it opened to $200 million, which is not that great because the budget's got to be in the 300s. And next
On the first day or weekend?
weekend.
Oh, wow, that's-
yeah, 200 million. So worldwide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, worldwide. And again, China's censoring the heck out of the marketing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is the following weekend on superhero films historically have had a 70% drop. So I mean, if it even makes 100 million next weekend is a big question.
Yeah.
Because historically, like I said, 70% drop. Opening weekend is make or break for your film. Avatar 2 made $2 billion because the opening weekend was great and it carried on. 70% of $1 billion is still a lot of money. So so I don't know. It's not gonna make the money back because most of those movies nowadays need $500 million to break even. So $200 million opening weekend, not that great. So I don't know. We'll see. When I hear. If the guy that plays Sam Wilson, I don't know his name, if next week he says, I'm committed to carrying the shield and I'm committed to this role, that means he's fired. It's just, it is what it is. Historically speaking,
As soon as this transmission cuts off, so am I.
So am I. I'm gone. I guess you could say Hulk's still an Avenger. I haven't seen him since
Why?
She-Hulk.
Because they did so much of them in She-Hulk.
Right, exactly. But he didn't lose the role, and nobody liked... I liked She-Hulk. No one else did. And I understand I'm in the minority. And I also understand the ending was bad. It was terrible. Come At Me Bro was a terrible ending. But I don't think she's going to be in Doomsday. Nobody likes her.
Yeah, not enough to get a season 2. So.
No. Yeah. I don't see it happening. Moon Knight, maybe. I could see maybe Moon Knight coming in.
Okay, now here's what we need to do to save both franchises. This is where they merge with Star Wars.
Yeah. You remember the old trailer for the Old Republic where the ship crashes into the Jedi Temple?
Yeah.
And he's dun,
That's the Marvel universe.
One lightsaber, 50 lightsabers turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just Dr. Doom's looking at it, he's like, ah, ha, ha. And then just the thing crashes in and it opens up. You just see lightsabers. I'm like, oh no. And then even me in the theater, I'd be like, oh my God, it's Rey. It's Rey. Yeah, I missed you. Wait a minute.
She's Dr. Doom.
Yeah. What if Poe Dameron shows up? And then how's that going to settle with Moon Knight? Because they're played by Oscar Isaac.
No, they play into that. Oh, it's the alternate realities. It's like a web of sorts. And Spider-Man comes in. Yeah, a web.
And then over on the horizon into the sand, you just see dunes. You see sandworms. It's Oscar Isaac again.
We need the Avengers.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going for here. I'll be honest with you. I'm not Dr. Doom. This is a fake helmet. Just gives up. So I don't know. I don't know what they're playing it because they're. Yeah. I can see Doomsday coming out. What they should do is, if Fantastic Four is good, they should just rebrand Avengers Doomsday as just Fantastic Four Doomsday. And then just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like a tax write-off, hey, I got a bet. Let's change that, know. And then Secret Wars. You have a year or 2 years to fix your team to make it where it's not garbage and it's people you actually want to see. Yeah. And just go like that, and that could work. So I don't know. Yeah. Doctor Strange, he didn't die. He didn't pass the mantle on to Wong, so.
Oh yeah, he is alive, isn't he? What happened to him? Oh, wait.
3 Eyes.
There was a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 Eyes. That's where we left off.
And Wanda is maybe alive.
Right. Vision Quest. You excited for Vision Quest yet?
What's Vision Quest?
You remember you watched WandaVision?
Yeah.
Okay. At the end when the white Vision. Sorry, they had to make them white. That's not DEI friendly.
Dude, chill.
Yeah. Anyway, White Vision, he flew away. He's supposed to get his own show called Vision Quest. And it's him learning how to get his color back.
Is that
his diversity back?
Is it gonna be what one color or all of them?
I don't know.
Yikes, dude.
He's probably gonna be, like Invincible blue. You know? Are you watching Invincible?
Oh no, I'm watching it with my brother, so we haven't gone around to watching the new season yet.
Oh, okay, so you're catching up.
But I do like his new color scheme.
Yeah,
the blue and black or whatever. Yeah.
I am a little. Well, I guess you haven't seen the new season, so I can't talk about it.
Disappointed?
Not disappointed. I'm just a little tired of some of the recycled villains.
Really?
Yeah. So what season are you on?
I mean, I watched all 2.
Okay, so they keep bringing back the earthquake guy,
Yeah.
and I'm sick of it. Like he doesn't do anything new. He's just earthquakes,
The guy,
global
feminist dude,
warming,
yeah.
global warming. It's just he does the same thing every time. I'm kind of sick of the recycled plot lines, but give me some new villains or something. Or bring back the interesting ones. I'd love to see Angstrom Levy again. Like I thought he got cut down too short before his time came.
I actually really liked the Lizard King for his one scene.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would have actually killed the heroes that he killed, quote unquote.
I know, because every season has a fake out. Because the end of. I rewatched the thing with Battle Beast. You remember?
Yeah.
And like that, I was like, oh man, he killed the whole team, and now they're fine. And then Lizard King, oh my god, they killed the whole team. No, actually, they're fine. So each season has a fake out. I don't know. They haven't done it yet for this season, but I'm expecting a full on cliffhanger. Oh, everyone's okay scene. So
yeah, because the shock came from man, that's what it was. That's what we all thought it was going to be. Like, oh, anyone can die at any moment, but kind of like every show that does that. Eventually, it's like The Boys. Eventually, you figure out, okay, who is going to be around till the last, episode or whatever.
It's literally Homelander. Like, that Homelander ain't dying until the very last.
Well,
episode.
even I remember the first time Homelander shows up, and Billy's in an alley, and Homelander just shows up randomly doing something else, and Billy's crouching. He's trying to hide from him. I had oh my god, I hope he doesn't find him. He's gonna kill him immediately.
Oh yeah.
And then every time they meet after it, it's just because he got superpowers temporarily. So it's oh, it's not that grueling, anymore.
Well, The Boys has gotten very fan servicey.
Yeah.
Because they're okay. So Butcher and not Wonder Woman, they bang.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Because the fans wanted to see them to get together. Oh yeah, and it's one scene, and they established she's not even into guys.
Right.
But for that one scene she is, and then of course she disappears again to go back with her girlfriend. So I don't know. And then there's I want to compare it to The Walking Dead, where The Walking Dead just kept going, and there were so many pointless scenes where
know where it's going.
Major characters are getting together, and they have lofty dialogue. I'm Rick. I'm the governor. Well, I disagree with you. I disagree with you, and that's the episode. And then nobody dies. They don't resolve anything.
Right.
And then in The Boys, there's I think it's the first episode of season 3 where Homelander shows up in Butcher's apartment.
Yes.
And they're just like. We're enemies. Yes, we're enemies. And then Homelander just leaves.
Yep.
And it was it's fan service.
And then the Trump rally episode.
Yes.
Oh, God, that was awful.
I'm so sick of it because companies are moving away from that now.
Yeah.
So I'd even bet it's downplayed.
That's so dated. It's just
I bet it's going to be downplayed next season.
Oh, yeah.
all the
It
Trump
never
stuff.
happened. It never happened.
Yeah. And when a super showed up in The Boys in season 1, even season 2, each season has gotten slightly worse. Not bad, except for season 4. It was really, I would say, really bad because it's oh, here's a girl, Alex Jones. Homelander's Trump now. That's that's all season 4.
Yep.
But the 3 seasons before that, they were trying. And I forgot. Oh, when a soup would show up in the early, especially season 1, when a soup would show up, you're like, shoot, dude, Homelander. I hope he doesn't have X-ray vision because they're, And now it's they show up and they have a fake out fight. Season 4 had the biggest fake out fight where they're up in the tower and they're fighting the Deep and they're fighting Black Noir. And I was like, I don't care if anything happens. Nobody's gonna die.
Right.
They even beat the Deep. They beat Black Noir, and then it's let's take him out now. No, we can't. We got to save him for the next season. We got to leave now. There's no reason to leave now, but we got to.
Happened, yeah.
I'm it's giving me Walking Dead vibes or Game of Thrones,
because they don't know how to end it.
Yeah, season 7 of Game of Thrones vibes, where it's just nothing happens.
The Boys was the show for a long time, where people this is my favorite. This is the new thing, and now it's just like everything else.
And I want to have an off camera conversation about my biggest disappointment with The Boys. It's so juvenile and it's so dumb that I can't do it on camera.
Dang.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I ain't gonna lie, it would get me in trouble.
Now I gotta know.
We will, but just not on camera. My real problem with The Boys.
Yeah, there are not enough girls.
Yeah.
It's not the girls.
Yeah. So anyway, The Boys has fallen off hard.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad because when it came out in 2019, I think
I was about, I think it's not
season one, so good. And I was like, man, I can't wait for next season. But when you look at the comics, you're like, oh, the comics are actually worse than the show. Like it's like, and there's no direction.
A lot of people say that, yeah.
Yeah, and so then like the show's doing its best, but they started chasing trends, like you said. Like, okay, Homelander's Trump, haha, yeah, and that's funny for 4 years, and then what?
Right.
You know, and then like, oh, you know, our kids aren't gonna watch The Boys and be like Trump. They're gonna be like, what are they making fun of?
Yeah.
You know, like what rally is that? Like,
Right.
So dated.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't get around to watching it until season 3, and then I binged it. It's even good to binge it, you know, like even better probably. But you can tell where things started to change if you binge it. You know, just like it wasn't even gradual. It was just like
they don't even hide how political they are.
No, even people I know who are like super liberal, didn't like it. They just thought it was just like it's pandering. It's just like
absolutely.
stupid pandering.
Yeah. They had to talk about abortion
because
of course
it was like the commentary obviously is there, like that's the biggest driving force is the commentary, you know,
for sure.
But like
the commentary used to be really good though. It used to be like, hey, Hollywood's full of scumbags. Like if Harvey Weinstein was in charge of the Justice League, you know, and it's sick, you know, and like that was interesting. Right. It was good real life parallel. Now it's on the nose. It's too on the nose.
Yeah,
it's politics.
Now it's like one-sided completely. It's
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
It's like it's weaponizing it. So it's like, you know, I'm not wanting to be pandered to, nor do I want to be persuaded, you know, from what I'm watching. You know, that's not what commentary is supposed to do. It's supposed to get you to talk and to think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to just say this is the right answer, and if you disagree, then
wrong.
you're just as bad as them.
You're a Homelander supporter who's also a Trump. You know, and it's like it didn't used to be like that, man. And I'm so glad. Well, there's a couple things I'm glad about. One, people are sick of it, and Hollywood knows that people are sick of it. That's the first thing. And two, people aren't defending it as much as they used to.
Yeah.
But like if I 5 years ago, take when say something Batman v Superman came out, I had to fight people on why it sucked. And I was like, this movie is terrible. It sucks. Suicide Squad came out and I was like this. And I had to argue with people because they're like, no, it was great. I loved it. Oh my gosh, you just didn't get it. But nowadays you got season 4 of The Boys, the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. Yeah. People are like, you know, you're right. This does suck. Like, people are actually waking up to it.
I remember people who loved the last season of Game of Thrones, but it was just like, I don't know, you're just doped up on the hype. You know, you're not even realizing what you're being fed right now.
Yeah, and I to people's credit, they've come back and been like, hey, remember that fight we had 5 years ago? Turns out you were right. You know, like this dude came back. He's like, hey, I watched Captain Marvel again. And yeah, you're right. It was bad. I was like, I know. He's like, dude, the Marvel hype train was a real thing. I was like, I know, dude. So yeah, I don't know. We're getting away from, people are actually starting to care more about what they watch and like think critically, you know, which they wouldn't do before. It used to be, here's the slop, eat it. You know, so people are waking up to it, and I'm very happy about it. So.
I think we're also so attuned to like the Oscar bait movies too. Like, I think people are not giving the Oscars or Hollywood any more credit anymore for like Amelia Perez. Is that the movie? Yeah. That did not fly under anyone's radar.
Not at all. Even mainstream YouTubers are like, this movie sucks.
Oh yeah, which is like I feel like a couple years ago this would have been like, oh my gosh, like you. It
would have gotten all the Oscars. It would have been everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah. It's like it's like Hollywood. They left this in the freezer for too long. They forgot about it. They're like, oh no, we have to push this out. Yeah, we have to make sure this is like highlighted. For
unfortunately, all the stuff, the people that did all the shouting, they're not paying attention anymore. No, you know, they moved on to other things.
Yep.
So yeah. What is it? Oh, what was another example? Interesting you brought up Amelia Perez. I watched Penguin Zero's video on it, Moist Critical, and he was like, has the people who made this movie heard a song before? Like, it's like, this isn't even how music sounds. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm glad I'm glad there's more people like us now. It's just
Yeah.
like it didn't feel that way 5 years ago. Like you said, it felt like we had to keep our mouth shut. And now it's like, I'm not afraid to talk about some of this stuff now. Like when we started the show, I was afraid to talk about this stuff.
Sure.
I was like, hey, we're not talking politics. We're not talking.
At that time, yeah, it was very, it was way
and-
worse. So.
Yeah, it was bad. Even a year ago, or how was this show? 2 years now.
2 years,
Yeah. So even 2 years ago, I was like, we're not touching this subject.
Yeah.
People aren't people. I didn't think we'd ever be at this point where people can talk about this openly and not be canceled.
Yeah.
So even canceled people are coming back. That's a discussion on its own. People that should stay canceled are coming back, like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, unfortunately,
But-
they had
and-
their timeout.
Yeah, it literally was a timeout, but everyone's coming back. Like even Mel Gibson, who actually did do stuff wrong, is like now endorsed by Trump and still making films and still a director. And
Yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The way Bill Cosby's conviction was overturned, it would not shock me if a bunch of other people, the guy from that '70s show,
oh yeah,
even Harvey Weinstein, it would not surprise me if their convictions were overturned.
and people will probably forget about it like pretty quickly.
Absolutely. I could see it happening. Will it? I hope not. Because they did do stuff wrong. But, the way it was such a witch hunt. It was such a witch hunt.
I think
5
I said
years
the
ago.
opposite a few episodes ago, but now I'm kind of convinced. Honestly,
Yeah.
I agree with Caleb. Now it's like, yeah, it's abysmal. Just
Yeah.
like, yeah,
The-
people are gonna lose it. and
The
it's
witch
like-
hunt's over.
That was the fun of it, right? That's what people got onto. It wasn't about like the justice being served. It was
Let's get them. Yeah. So, I don't know.
And then they ran out of bad people, so they tried to go after people who like we didn't even know if they were good or bad. It's like just go after them. Who
Yeah.
cares, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So, that's done. And it's over. I hope it doesn't come back. But we're young, and anything can come back in 10 to 20 years. So, we'll see.
Sure.
But I don't know. I got on the topic of NFTs because I was really interested. I still don't know what an NFT quite is. Do you know anything about them?
I mean, what do you know about them? I could probably fill
So
in some gaps.
the actual NFT is a line of code that is just like a digital certificate. It's not a picture. It's like a digital receipt. That the NFT is the receipt that hey, you own not even the picture, but you own the digital rights to the picture, right?
Yeah, like you own it.
Right. Yeah. So of course that was
And
like,
there's like a limited amount of them, I think. So yeah.
well, no, there's a ton, especially when Ubisoft was like, oh, we're making
Well, limited
games based on
amount.
this.
That's what gives it its value. Is that it's unique, one of a kind.
But some people went crazy with it. They were like, hey, if you have a diamond, like a real diamond, and then you lose it or it burns down in a fire, but you made an NFT of the diamond, you still own the diamond. It's just the digital form. You keep the
Right.
value. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's what people. I think did with like houses and stuff, like crazy.
Yeah.
And then celebrities try to get onto it, like on talk shows and stuff, and that's when that is immediately when it started to die.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
As soon as celebrities think it's cool,
Yeah.
dude.
What's his name? Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, he had the
Him and
board.
Paris
He had the
Hilton.
board ape one,
Yep.
I think, and then it was like,
Yep.
oh look, it's us.
Literally, as he did it, you can see it in his face. I just killed NFTs.
And I don't even know.
Yeah. So, and then of course Paris Hilton had him. It was so dumb. Trump announced a line of NFTs.
Oh, and who's the guy who made Robot Chicken?
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yep.
He I think invested a ton of money.
I love the Seth Green debacle because his NFTs were stolen and they ransomed them back to him, and it was right before his big NFT event.
Right.
And then did you see the Bored Ape NFT event where they turned on the giant screen with the LED lights, and everyone that was there had their retinas damaged because they didn't
terrible.
they didn't know anything about UE
Right.
or the what is it UED lights LED sorry they didn't know anything about LED lights and they
Yeah.
just fried everyone's eyes, so like everyone had damage, like permanent damage. Like I don't think there were anybody that was like actually blinded.
Could
like
you
blind.
imagine permanently having Bored Ape scanned into your retinas?
Yeah, and that's the last thing you see clearly.
That is
You're
awful.
like, that is beautiful, and then you look to your friend, and your friend's just a bored ape. You're like, no. It's time to reset the camera. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Why is my hat forward now? I don't know. I just did it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And people who are listening wouldn't even know the difference.
That's correct because we use cartoons. So anyway, but for shorts.
Yeah.
We got you. Anyway, so NFTs have pretty much died. I think the only thing that's still going is Bored Ape NFTs.
As a meme, but yeah, like I don't know if it has any like significant value.
They're not gonna, yeah, they're not gonna, they don't, okay, let me set the record straight. No NFT has any value. let me just get that out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If, so got me interested because, now I keep hitting this. It got me interested. Apparently, back in the day, so NFTs weren't the only thing. Obviously, like throughout history, there have been so many items that were like, "Hey, these are the next thing. You buy this, you just bought an asset. You're going to sell this and buy a house." I tried to look up things that were similar to NFTs. I will say, like, so tulips. Did you know, like in the Netherlands, like early, like I think it was either 1700s or 1800s. Tulips, apparently, if you had a tulip growing in your yard, that was like the NFTs of the time. It was like, wow, this flower is actually like worth something. So they would start selling the tulips, and of course the bubble burst where it was like, hey, the guy who bought the tulip had like he spent more money, and then when he tried to sell it, it wasn't worth anything. You know, so there was a big tulip crash. Now, back in the day, if they had social media, I think it would have been prolonged, the tulip craze, but it got me thinking. NFTs obviously aren't the only thing where people are like, man, this is going to have value.
Yeah.
And I tried to look up some stuff where it was like, hey, people bought these collector's items, and of course, they didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so most comic books from the 90s, because there were so many of them, they don't have any value. Obviously, if you had the original Superman and the original Batman, any of the Action Comics 1 through 50, like you're rich, right?
Right.
But like, you know, if you bought something in the 90s, it's actually not worth that much now. You know, another example is,
Well, so sorry, are you talking about like actual value or like place value? Because like a CRT, for instance, like a TV, because I collect those.
nice.
That isn't super like valuable by itself, but they are still very expensive because of the sort of like the 90s aesthetic craze. So like a CRT right now, I mean, like normally where probably back then would have cost, you know, like
No, I specifically looked up stuff where people thought this was going to take off. So Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Like, are you familiar with what Beanie Babies are?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are worth nothing.
Yeah.
But they sold like they were going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I see.
So they announced like, hey, we're not making Beanie Babies anymore. And so they thought that, oh, that's going to drive prices up. And it turns out it didn't. And so they were like, okay, we're not making Beanie Babies anymore. They didn't go up in value at all, and people are trying to resell them. They're actually worthless.
Wow.
Pogs.
Yep.
Apparently, I don't even know what a Pog is. I know they're like little, are they like poker chips?
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, what'd you do with them? You just collected them?
Just do collector's items, dude.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
to be honest with you, most collector's items aren't worth anything.
No.
You know?
I mean, like freaking Funko Pops take probably like 80 cents to make. So it's like
that was on the list of things where it's like most Funko Pops you're only going to sell for 20. Now, if you sell them. If you buy them from the comic store, they're going to mark up the price to a couple $100, or if you buy it from a website, a couple $100, or Amazon even. But if you resell them, you're not going to get as much as you probably paid for it.
Yeah.
You know. Let me think here. Beanie Babies, Cabbage Patch Kids. Like, when's the last time anybody bought any of those things? Cabbage Patch, Pog, you know, all that stuff.
It feels like this is bait for like Facebook moms and stuff.
I agree. There's no good way to predict, though, what's going to go up in value either. Like, do you remember when Szechuan sauce got popular for like a week, you know, and that guy found a packet in his car and like sold it for $4K?
Rick and Morty can't do the same trick twice.
No, they can't. And they're not trying to.
Yeah.
I don't even think they knew that was going to happen.
But like if they tried that again, like they're not nearly like,
No.
But at that time, dude, that was everything. I mean, the boys could have done that at that, you know, at the point, you know? So like
Homelander pulls up a Beanie Baby and he's like, this is my favorite Beanie Baby. You know?
buy now.
Yeah, and
then the green arrow would have gone right up.
That one guy who's still holding on to his Beanie Babies. You know, I couldn't find any great examples like, hey, this is like NFTs, you know, but I tried. You know, I was trying to find a good discussion topic for that, but nothing was really clicking on that. But I thought it was interesting.
You could kind of argue crypto in a way, maybe, but it depends on the crypto you're talking about.
Well, I was going to say also, like, you got to put in actual money into crypto. So there is even money in there, you know. From what I can tell, crypto is solely based on what other people put in. So if I buy in to Dogecoin when it's a penny, I'm waiting on everyone else to put in to where it's $1, and I'm cashing out everyone else's money. Is what my understanding of crypto.
Yeah.
It's still worth something, at least depending on the coin you get. But really, it's only worth what everyone else puts in, and you gotta hope, one, that it's a legit coin, and two, that people don't cash out before you do, or if you get in early enough, all that kind of stuff. Yep. So I don't know. Crypto, at least, I mean, I'm not saying it has any real utility, but at least it's worth what people put in. That's what the market cap is. So I don't know.
I'm surprised there's not like a wave of like AI generated like NFT ripoffs. There probably is, but just like something where like an entire entire ecosystem that's run by AI, where they develop thousands of products a day and try to sell them, like as actual physical content.
That's the thing. Nobody's buying NFTs anymore. Because like I'm sure we would have gotten there because AI boom didn't happen until a year or two after NFTs got famous. But that bubble popped so fast. I loved it. But
as soon as Ubisoft tried.
Yeah.
And they try everything like 4 or 5 years after it's popular. Dude.
Yeah. It's like so tone deaf, bro. Like, do you not realize you're going out of business? Are you not aware?
You know what? I was just convinced to maybe on a sale to buy Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Really?
I'm such a
if it's on sale, if you want it, man, get it. Like, I'm sure they need the money.
I'm keeping them in business too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you.
I'm such an Ubisoft simp.
Now, if you bought Assassin's Creed 1 for $60, I might kick you. But
it's on Good Old Games now. Assassin's Creed 1.
Good Old Games?
You never heard of it?
No.
Good Old Games basically is like, it's a video game preservation project where they take a bunch of old games that are like abandonware or games you can't get anymore, and they put them on Good Old Games. Sometimes they'll have patches.
It's like Humble Bundle?
Kind of. For instance, on Good Old Games, they have all the old Resident Evil games, like the classic ones. You can't get those anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can't get that really physical without spending a whole bunch of money, and you can't get that digitally either without an emulator. And emulators are kind of wonky sometimes. So,
and not even just wonky. Now Nintendo will sue you for having it. So.
Oh yeah, I was on Vim's Lair the other day, and I was simply observing. Not that I was going to download anything. I was just simply observing.
Yeah.
All the Nintendo games have a message now. Due to the developers' requests, we have taken down this project. I'm like, whoa, everything.
Yeah.
Dude.
So how much was Assassin's Creed 1 on this website?
Like $6.
$6. That's about what I'd pay. Because GameStop, before they went out, they're not business, but before they went so downhill to where Wall Street has to bail them out. I'm sorry, Reddit Wall Street has to bail them out. They used to have the $5 bins and the under 10. They used to put movies with their stuff, but not anymore. I don't know. If you had a lot of money, would you buy out those companies, Ubisoft or GameStop? Would you buy them
for the IPs
to own them? Yeah. Can you imagine if we could slap GameStop's logo on our podcast? GameStop's Third Wheel Podcast. You know what I mean?
We'd have to. They actually have a similar looking. We could have it like. What could we do?
You know who I would buy? Blockbuster. Blockbuster's Third Wheel Podcast.
Interesting.
Amazing.
They have they have that same yellow, that mustard yellow too. So we could just reverse it.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. but yeah, like buying a novelty brand name just just to slap it on the podcast would be fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would love that. But Blockbuster's still the name. If you bought the name, it's still a couple $1 million.
Papa John's.
But I would, that'd be funny. Papa John's Third World Podcast. We're here to talk about NFTs. This one looks like a pepperoni pizza.
Caleb's still pissed off that employee's like, so I bought the company so I can fire that little.
Yeah. And it's literally still just us.
We have the hats. But yeah.
I would do all the things you're not supposed to do running a company. Like I would tell everyone over Zoom they're fired. You know how there was, I forget the name of the company, but there was one where they got everybody on Zoom and they said everyone who's on the Zoom is fired.
Even you, Carl, January in the back.
Yeah. And who's the host of this meeting? Yeah, you're gone too. That's why I said only you had to start the meeting.
Wait,
no one else.
Who's in charge of payroll? Yeah, you're fired too.
You're
just
gone.
make sure to pay everyone before you fire yourself.
Yeah, pay me first.
I actually just looked up this story of Mr. Papa John himself on like how he he resigned. I don't think he was fired, but
Resigned.
I never knew the story, but apparently he was on like a Zoom call or something, and that's when he just dropped all of this racist stuff, like a Zoom call, like just. And he was, oh, it was so bad. He was talking about like the Super Bowl and how people were like kneeling and stuff, and I was like, dude, like. He went back and said, "Oh, I don't actually have those feelings or whatever." But like, it's like he had the drunken outburst before you drank anything, like on a work call with like 8 people. Like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand how people can get to that point, dude. It's crazy.
It is insane.
None of these people with their smiling faces on these ads, dude, they're not smiling in real life. Dude.
No,
they're
dude,
stressed.
they're bad people. Well, it's like did he think on Zoom like nobody was going to catch it, nobody's recording?
They're
it?
all recorded. Yeah, I mean, they should be
exactly. Same thing with the Steve Crowder on the Ring camera.
Oh yeah,
and he, I mean, and it was like somebody who worked at Ring was like,
I thought his wife leaked it.
No.
Oh,
I don't think so. Leaked? Let me look. Yeah, it was.
I thought his wife leaked it.
Some dude at Ring camera was like, "Is that Steve Crowder?" Hold on a sec. I hate it when what's that text message app? It's not it's WhatsApp.
Oh, WhatsApp.
I hate it when I get added to a random WhatsApp chat. Chat.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, you got to be popular.
Yeah,
like
I
me.
was about to say, I don't put myself out there.
But it's not friends. It's like bots. Like, I'm here to talk to you about this new investment opportunity.
Sweet.
Who leaked Steve Crowder? Oh, no, it's a journalist that showed the footage, but it was given to him by the wife. Okay, yeah, guess you're right. It was the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. That's, whatever. Piece of crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still doing fine though, isn't he?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
But like all of his friends were like, "Oh yeah, he's a
douche.
He was a jerk, dude."
But you replace all the guys that can think for themselves and say no. Like, then you hire a bunch of people that just want to
all
break
the yes men. It's like,
well, not even that. Like, just people that want to break into the business. Like,
yeah.
not me, but I know people who would. Well, like, why wouldn't you work with Steven Crowder for a year, get that following on your own, and then just leave and then go start your own podcast? You know what I mean? Like, Fresh and Fit are getting ready to do that. Do you follow them at all? Do you know who they are?
Yeah.
They suck. I hate them. But they hate each other, and you can tell the way they yell at each other on the show now.
Yeah.
And they both kind of started doing their own projects and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's like, why? If we got famous, why wouldn't you want to do that for a year and then go off and do your own thing?
It's inevitable, probably. People change, dude.
Angry Joe has that problem too, where he'll get a bunch of friends on, and then they'll get kind of famous in their own right, and then take off.
It's all business, dude. I mean, people change on a different level when the money's involved.
Other Joe. He's the only one that sticks around. I'd love me some other Joe. So
that's why I need a dip when we start making money.
Yeah, for real. Aha, 1,000 followers. I'm out of here, and I'm taking my audience with me.
All right, guys, we're brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Yeah, this is Papa John's. Shut up, Pizza Hut. Third Wheels, Pizza Hut. What if you took the rights, just third, and then I took the rights to Wheel? And then we had to start our own thing,
Dude, the third podcast is way cooler name than the Wheel podcast.
Well, I could take the Wheel and put something else to it.
Oh, yeah?
Like
what?
I don't know. I would get my marketing team together.
That's why you're not going to survive in this business.
That's why you wouldn't make it 5 seconds out there without me.
I've already got the 3-step plan.
Oh, did I tell you I tried Chicken Express's catfish?
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, good. That's what I'm saying.
And I tell you, I've had the driest poop since then, but the food was not dry.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's good.
Yeah, it was really good. They're hush puppies, dude.
That's what hush puppies is supposed to
taste like. It had a little bit of corn inside of it. I was like, oh, I can't eat at Long John Silver's in good faith. Yeah, I can't eat at Long John Silver's in good faith anymore.
Dude, I literally forgot. I completely blanked that out of my memory of eating Long John Silver's. Nothing but lard and batter.
So if someone asked you, you'd be like, no, I've never eaten
there.
Even though it's on camera, like 2 episodes ago.
I still feel the pain, the scarring on my colon.
Yeah. I will say Chicken Express has such a good variety. Like, you can get liver and gizzards.
Gizzards, yeah. Gizzards aren't that bad either.
I don't even know what a gizzard is, but what is
I
it?
think it's like my brother gets them all the time. He told me what they were. They're kind of gross, but
but they taste good?
They taste good. I mean, they're rubbery, but like they're cheap.
You know what? I don't mind eating rubber. muscular organ in the digestive tract of birds that grinds food.
Yeah, they're gross, but I mean, you just eat the whole bird at that point.
You know, I always wondered how many birds does it take to fill in an order of gizzards? You know what I mean? Like, same thing with like.
It's gonna get really sad really quickly.
I don't. Yeah, maybe we should steer away from this topic. But you know, you get like 8 gizzards, and it's like, what is this? 8 birds? Can you imagine? Like, I didn't eat the wing, I didn't eat the chicken feet, I didn't eat the breast. I ate this one random organ.
I don't want to talk about this.
And I ate 8 of them.
I'm thinking about so many chickens. Where it's like you didn't even use me. You just wasted me for my gizzards.
Yeah, you just wanted my gizzard. You know, it's like men only want one thing, and it's effing disgusting. They're after me, gizzards.
Me lucky gizzards.
My lucky gizzards.
Yikes.
I need help.
You know, I'm sure you've seen that famous picture of that person who got a deep fried chicken head in their box or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
that's not real.
You don't think it's
just,
real?
No, it's just a weird chicken finger.
Imagine if you did that. I wouldn't complain.
You'd eat it?
You're eating everything else. Like legitimately, like what isn't like chicken foot, chicken head. What else is there?
I saw candied chicken feet at the Korean supermarket the other day.
Dude,
I was like, these are probably pretty good.
I
didn't eat them though.
Those Asian countries do. They'll eat anything, and they probably have like a way wider like taste palette, you know, and just like they probably have experienced stuff that we'll never do, like
I mean
on another level.
You know how they used to make Jell-O? It was like they would grind up pig bones.
Mm-hmm.
But Jell-O back in the day was a rare commodity because there was only you had to eat the whole pig before you got to the bones.
Right.
So it's like. I looked up a lot of stuff trying to find something to talk about for this podcast today, and I was like, pig bones, Jell-O, yes. So it's like, but back then they didn't waste, bro. Like it's oh, we got bones left. What do we do? What is this? Jell-O. It's a new invention I made. It's quite tasty. I agree.
Yeah.
It's a delicacy.
No.
So it's like the bones and the bone marrow.
Nowadays we're like, oh, this meat's a little black on the center. I'm sending it back.
I don't want it. Like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. I don't want it. Every time, twice an episode.
Yep.
I don't want it. So I don't know.
That was good. All right, so we got Game of Thrones references. We
talked about NFTs.
Yeah.
We brought up Trump and Homelander in one sentence.
Dude.
Never thought we'd get there.
We're trying to get everything at once.
We got 10 minutes left. Our producer's telling us to go like this, make it longer.
Yeah, make it longer.
So I don't know. What am I doing? Getting ready for here pretty soon. I don't have any updates on the radio drama. I'm hoping the trailer's done next week.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I found an editor. I like his style. In order to cut costs, I will render as much of the trailer myself as I can before I send it to him to make it look cool. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about recording your lines in front of me? Does it bug you?
I do that every week.
Yeah, but this is unscripted. We're just talking. But like now, when you're
unless you do something weird while I do it, what are you planning on doing?
Zip pants. Zip. I like the way you read those lines, boy.
Like your style.
Yeah, you're really good at improv.
That's a spoiler. People weren't even gonna know it was me. I mean,
you sound just like you.
I know.
Especially if we cut to clips of you talking, it'd be hilarious.
No, never. They'll never figure it out.
So whenever I do a video like my editorial, everyone has to leave the room because I don't like doing it in front of people. So that's why I was curious.
Oh, I don't care, dude.
Doesn't bug you?
No, okay. I feel like what's gonna help is like I just like making people laugh. So like I feel like my lines are gonna make you laugh. So it's like that's probably actually gonna help.
Yeah, I better cut the mic.
What's great is that a lot of it's going to be improv. So just like whatever you feed me or whatever I just think of on the spot probably. And then we'll just throw it all and conglomerate and see if it works.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I say we'll see, but it'll be like, do you feel like the third wheel in every conversation?
He said wheel.
Yeah, he said wheel. Is it a squeaky whip? Yeah, something.
There's not even 3 of us.
I should probably leave while you do this.
I would feel awkward doing that in this big room. We have a really big room today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope it's not. Maybe that's why I'm having trouble with how I sound on the mic today. Maybe it's just like this big echo.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too echoey when we record, but I don't know.
I'm too secluded.
Oh, I had a funny story getting this coffee today.
Oh yeah.
And I say self-proclaimed funny. Maybe it's not. And maybe that could be the end of the episode. I got in line to the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Okay. And I ordered. And I said, I want Americano with almond milk. And at the very end, Americano, almond milk. And then I said hot at the end. But I noticed she cut me off before I got to say hot. So I said hot, but that was with anything else, before I got to finish.
Oh my God.
And
We're
so
doing this
then-
again.
What?
Who are we doxing today?
I won't say where. Our third wheel coffee producer,
Yeah.
the coffee lady, right? So she's like, anything else? And I was like, nope. So I pull up to the front. Okay. And she hands me a clear cup. If the cup's clear, you know what that means?
Oh, yeah, it's frozen, dude.
That's correct. So they hand me the cup. Thank you. You cheated. You already knew this story.
He solved for X.
Yeah, so they hand me a cold coffee, and I was like, I don't want, I said hot. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, and so they took it back, and then guess what she said? Please pull forward. And I was like,
You did that to yourself.
No, I didn't.
No, Caleb, careful. You cannot, out of all the people in the work industry, you know who you cannot criticize ever?
I know, right?
The baristas.
Yeah.
You can never, ever.
No, it's fast food employees.
No, I'm dead serious. Baristas are worse.
Really?
Not them particularly, but their defenders are worse.
So if I turn this into a short,
Yeah.
it will get views, dislikes.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
dude.
Huh.
So let's double down.
Yeah.
Where was this?
I said, fuck. Wait, was it? Where was it? Fuck Dunkin' Donuts. That's what got us the most views last time.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
what I'm saying, dude.
F Pizza Hut.
It goes retail,
Yeah.
food service, and then baristas are the king. You
Yeah.
cannot mess with baristas, dude.
Okay, shoot. Oh, no.
They're the people, because every time it's like, you know how many people, the instincts you have to have, the superhuman instincts you have to have, and then the knowledge to memorize all these coffee drinks and the patience with everyone's orders and their complications, and to be on your feet all day. Like, they go down this list. I'm seeing it online. It's just
So
like,
at the Dunkin' Donuts Police Academy, they don't teach you hot and cold.
keep it up.
Yeah. This is going to be a short. It has to be. But it's like, yeah. And so please pull forward. Like, So I pull forward, I go around, and I'm waiting. To their credit, they came up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were like, "Here's your coffee," and
It was
I got
hot.
it.
She didn't want to hold
And
it.
it was hot, and I was like, "Yes!" And I rolled the window up too much, where I accidentally wedged the cup in between the window. But then
That's karma.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, you did.
I did no such thing.
You inconvenienced her.
But it was fine. I was like, "That's okay." I fixed it, and then I put my coffee in, and I drove, and I got to our studio.
Oh, okay.
And I made the switch from my not
Yeah.
clear hot cup of coffee,
Yeah.
and I opened it up, and they forgot the almond milk. It was just black Americano, and I was like, "No, Dunkin' Donuts, I hate you."
She had, little did you know, it's like JoJo. She had a little smirk, a little glint in her eye when she gave you the coffee.
To be continued. Dun, 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 dun.
That is the biggest white girl freak out I've ever seen you have over coffee. No,
I had to correct that. They took my order down wrong.
my own.
I had to correct the order.
Yeah, you
I
have
had to pull forward, and I got to my destination with the wrong order. But at least the coffee was hot. But it was black.
Just like your heart, dude. Wow.
And that took 5 minutes. So I think that's the end of this episode. What do you think? Hopefully something more interesting will happen this week that we could talk about.
Yeah, dude. I
Harry
think we
Potter.
got it.
Well,
Yeah.
you won't have it done this week.
Not this way. No.
No.
We're close.
But
I
we're
mean,
close.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here picturing what? Okay, what?
Nothing.
I'm just sitting here picturing Voldemort flying. he's just hovering.
Yeah, we spoiled a scene for each other.
Yeah. There's a cloud. You just see Voldemort and
T-posing across the
Yeah, just
across London
it's
sky.
Voldemort. Don't say his name. Don't say it. And
No,
then
there's a green aura.
and his line, mine. I love it.
What
I'm so
happened to
excited.
Mad Eye Moody?
We don't talk about that.
Exactly. They don't talk about it.
Nope, that is correct. All right, I'm gonna
Spoilers.
start making jokes. No, stop. All right. We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
We're getting close to Harry Potter, but next week won't be about Harry Potter for sure.
But dude, wish us luck. We're about to go see the best movie of the year.
Yeah, we'll let you know how it goes. I feel like I think I'm gonna do a review, but like an editorial one.
Yeah.
But I think we won't have time to fit everything into today.
Yeah.
But oh well, it is what it is. We'll see y'all next time, guys.
Mm-hmm.